Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Benjamin, and this is an unusual Saturday upload for a regular video for me. This is both going to be a stream announcement as well as a actual video content. So before we get into it, likes, comments, subscriptions always do help. I greatly appreciate them. Please remember, please keep everything tactful, respectful, and cordial. And today, what I want to be talking about, and what I'm going to be talking about, is the Senate math for a potential Trump SCOTUS nominee. And what I want to demonstrate is that if the Republicans really do want to nominate and appoint a Supreme Court justice before the election, they have the votes to do so. And here's why. So I've filled out the definite yays and nays for for a potential appointee, and I don't really think it matters which person it is. There's two in particular that I believe Trump should definitely look at. One of them is Amy Coney Barrett, and the other is the lady from Florida who's on Florida Supreme Court. I think those would be the two most prudent choices. So the maybes that I have, and it's not even really a maybe. It's Murkowski is a definite no as far as I'm concerned. And actually Mitt Romney is almost certainly a no as well. Then we get into the true maybe votes. Kyrsten Sinema out of Arizona. Cory Gardner out of Colorado. Chuck Grassley has expressed some doubts from what I've heard. From Iowa, not the senator who's up for election, by the way. That's Joni Ernst. Doug Jones in Alabama. Tom Tillis in North Carolina. Joe Manchin from West Virginia. And Suzanne Collins out of Maine. Now, that said, I genuinely do believe that Grassley is a yes, regardless. But I'm only putting him as likely a yes. Okay. That said, Romney I'm also putting as a likely no. As for the other six, Cory Gardner, we'll actually start with Kyrsten Sinema from Arizona. I could see her voting yes, but I am putting her in the leans no category. I don't think so. She's not up for election. She's not running for an election. I'm also putting Doug Jones in the likely no column. I don't really think a yes vote is going to help him win the seat. So in my eyes, I think he's going to vote what he actually believes, which is no. Cory Gardner, I am putting in the likely yes because he's in a similar situation to Doug Jones. I don't think a no vote would help him out electorally, and I think he's just going to vote yes. In North Carolina, same thing. I don't really see Tillis not voting yes, and by the way, that puts that puts it to 50 votes, which some are going to say, well, that's one vote shy of what's needed. Suzanne Collins and Joe Manchin are the true toss-ups where I'm not really sure. I think Manchin might vote yes as a way to say he is not controlled by Pelosi when he's up for re-election in 2024. I'm putting him in the leans yes column. And I am also going to be putting Suzanne Collins in the leans yes column. Because I don't think a no vote will help her out electorally in her. So I think she'd be voting for yes. And when she had a chance to vote no on a nominee who would be potentially electorally important, she voted yes anyway, and that was with Brett Kavanaugh. So, in my eyes, this is where the Senate map breaks down. 52 yay votes, 48 nay votes, which means we should have a justice before Trump's term is ended, before this presidential term is ended. And we might have one before December. And even if this drags on past when Arizona would swear in Mark Kelly, assuming he wins. So let's assume Mark Kelly wins. He'd be a definite no vote. Even then, that still gives cushion. And even if Suzanne Collins were to vote no, that would be a tie vote, and it would go to Mike Pence. If Manchin voted no, well, that would of course be shutting everything down. So, but I genuinely do believe Manchin would lean yes. I'm leaning Collins to yes, and McSally is a definite yes, as it currently stands. So I'm saying that it's probably 52-48, maybe 51-49, and maybe 50-50, with Mike Pence casting the deciding vote. I'm not sure who the Democrats would be able to convince to vote against a Trump appointee, because they've already got Murkowski saying no. They've already got Romney, who's probably going to say no. I could see them going after Collins, but again, she doesn't seem to be inclined to vote no, given her history with Trump appointees, especially electorally valuable ones. Electorally, ones that matter in a re-election campaign. Grassley, again, he's too tied to McConnell. Manchin might be a yes vote simply because he's in a state that really, really he has to vote yes in order to maintain his independence and basically say, listen, I am not controlled by Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. For him, it's pretty simple. I vote yes or I lose my seat. And you may say, well, he's not up till 2024, but I guarantee you Republicans are going to use that against him if he votes no. And he really does have to consider that. Gardner, I put him in the likely because I really just don't see him not voting for whoever Trump nominates. So I do see us having a new Supreme Court justice before 2021, unless something insane happens. Which, since it's 2020, is probably going to happen. So, grain of salt on this. Anyway, I will be live streaming later tonight, assuming my town hasn't burnt to the ground because of, well, protests. I'll call them that until they get violent. Please don't happen. I really hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, there may be some stuff going on in my town. So pray for my town, and I'll see you all tonight. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Thank you, and bye-bye.